Bam! What's up, guys? Welcome to part 3 of judging. So, I'm going to start this off with a quote. It's from the Bible, and there's so many different translations, but the one I'm going to use is what Jesus said in Sermon on the Mount. It's in Matthew. You can even look this up on the internet. It's widely and publicly available. On the section on judging, he first asks to, I think it's his disciples or the people who are around him while he's doing the Sermon on the Mount. He asked, why do you go to your brother and say, you have a speck in your eye, let me help you take that out? So, this is a parable. When you have a plank in your own eye, like I had already said, first, remove the plank from your own eye, then you'll be able to see clearly and remove the speck from your brother's eye. So, want to dive deep into that and how that practice will help you become a more successful individual in your life. So, you don't even have to be religious, but the fact that that was written like over 2,000 years ago, whether you believe Jesus was was the Son of God, or you just believe that these are men that wrote stories and they're just stories of what they wanted to express. Either way, that idea has existed for over 2,000 years, which means that human beings have been doing this thing where we judge other people when we're not even aware of our own faults and where we're failing to recognize our own faults. And that's what we should really be focusing on. So, got inspired to do this third part based on something I did at work today. So, to give you a little context, we have skill level requirements that we have to fulfill, and those requirements are certain tasks that we have to show our proficiency in. Once we show our proficiency in all those tasks of a certain skill level, then we can move on to the next skill level, and comes more responsibilities, but a different role in your team with the particular unit that you're at. So, for our skill level requirement sheet recently got changed from old requirements to new requirements. They're pretty similar, but there's some of them that changed. So anyways, today we had to transcribe our old line items, is what we call them, to our new skill sheet. On this skill sheet, I noticed some things that me and my buddy, we both failed to add to our new sheet. And I was like, hey, the blood transfusion skill that we learned and this other skill, we actually did this on April 26th, and we can get it signed off, And my buddy was like, oh, well, no, we don't need to do that. We could just get it signed off at this other training that we're going to in like 3 months, which he's never been, and he doesn't even know if that's something we do. He just made that assumption. But anyways, like, part of me was like, why would you not want to get credit for a skill that you know when you might not do it in the future, So anyways, that was kind of like weird, and I think like at some level I probably like judged him of him just like having a little bit of an ego and not wanting to like be corrected or something like that. The military is a kind of a weird culture. So anyone's in the military, we kind of know how we have this desire to not want to be corrected. Probably stems from our basic training, where if you have like something that's not buttoned on your uniform, they make a huge deal, and you don't want to freaking notice. Like, it shows a lack of situational awareness. The military loves situational awareness, and if someone else catches you not having that thing, it basically shows you're lacking situational awareness, and I happen to have more situational awareness of myself and yourself. So you're double screwed and I'm double awesome, basically. So there's that minor component. I'm not saying that's how all the military is at all the time, but that exists a little bit. Ask anyone in the military, they'll tell you. So, anyways, part of my mind was like judging, like, oh, that's kind of weird that he did that, you know. And later on, I was explaining something else to him, and he just like, he was like kind of closing off. He like wasn't getting it, and he was like, oh, I'll just figure it out on my own, you know. I'm like, oh, okay. And then like later, I was like, yeah, man, that's weird. I should probably talk to him later and be like, you know, because I should share this, that myself, I happen to have a personality that is a kind of stubborn personality, and my buddy, he has the same thing. And in our career field of people who are all A-type, super, so we're all kind of like hard-headed and stubborn, and yeah, it's probably like that because like those are the people that get selected. Like a lot of special operations, they have people who are like refuse to quit. Literally, those are the people that are left. So you have like really stubborn people that you're among, and anyways, that can create some friction, especially when there's different rank and whatnot, and that can create issues. So anyways, myself and him have both like had issues a little bit that way. And anyways, just like it said in the Bible, I almost did the whole thing where like, oh, hey brother, I know you have like a speck in your eye. Let me remove that, as I have an entire plank in my eye, and I'm focusing on removing a brother's, you know, speck. And it was interesting. I like was in the bathroom, and then I thought for a second. I was like, I don't know if I thought of that quote first or what, but my next thought was like, dude, you know what? I could have spoke to him in a different way that would have caused him not to close up, and if I had only done that, it would have been very clear to him, and then he would have gotten it, and then would have just moved on. It would have been gravy. It would have been a win-win. A win for me by demonstrating the skill of being socially aware and diplomatic at the same time, which is a skill that everyone needs to learn, you know. So, anyways, by recognizing I failed to just be like, oh, dude, I know this shit is confusing as fuck because me and my other buddy, we also missed this thing, and it was super confusing. It took us 20 minutes to figure out. But anyways, this is how it is right now. If you just do this, this, and this, you'll be done, or this will be fixed and easy. But because I failed to recognize that I could have done that, it would have been better. Instead, I was just focusing on him. But if I had never opened my own eyes to my own faults, I would never become aware of that, and thus I wouldn't be able to develop that skill and habit. So that's what it really comes down to, and that's why it's going to make you more successful. If you have a plank, so to speak, in your own eyes, and let's face it, if you're a human being, it's likely you have a shit ton of flaws that you need to fix. If you disagree with me, well, that's another flaw of yours, all right? Yeah, because everyone has freaking flaws, like I guarantee you. So by me not recognizing that I have my own flaws, just even the way I was communicating, that I am partly responsible for that person's response, you know? Or I should say that by being able to recognize that I'm flawed myself, that allows me to work on those flaws. And that is the main message and the main reason why you should be practicing what I said in the beginning of this video. Practicing the awareness that is true, and practicing developing your flaws, practicing being aware that you have flaws and then developing them. And it takes you being able to step out of your ego to be able to see it. So that's what I want to leave you with. Think about these 3 things on how that can benefit your life and the world around you. So, and your experience of life. This is all very important. And how those all interrelate and all affect and influence one another. And if you can be good at these little things, just practicing it, how that will compound to other things in your life. So, hoping you can apply this. Hope you got inspired. Bam. Thank you for watching.